need to do something about my light. Where it's getting like sunnier and sunnier and brighter and that. Like when did I just put my smoke? Like it's gotten harder to do my stream. Like in winter it's been great. It's all been darkened out. My light was all good. Now there's extra lights just like getting in everywhere, you know. Fucking lights, man. Thinking they own the shop. Right, so continue towards Black Rock Processing. I don't know where the fuck that is. Probably not here. Power punch. Roll credits. Right, maybe there's a sign around here that says Black Rock Processing. Oh, the wrong button. I'm sorry. Okay, stay there, motherfucker. Shit. Oh, become mine! Yeah, be my Valentine, buddy. Protect me and scream in my fucking ear. Okay, so Maintenance Atlas Chamber. I'm sure I saw a Black Rock Processing thing before, but where? So that's coolant pumps. Elevator. And ventilation. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where I'm meant to be going, you know? Oh, he's on my team. Okay, sit down. Be humble. I can't like that. The throwing shit on this is so fucking satisfying. Like, crazily satisfying. Why is there reinforcement? Is this just never ending over here, or what? Like... Too close to a Pterodome. Oof. Slam dunk the funk, bitch. Alright, is everyone good? Can we all stop this fighting? Didn't we learn anything? I have superpowers. You can't beat superpowers. Where the fuck am I going? I don't know where to go. I'm gonna head over here. No, I'll definitely die if I go. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna die down there. Okay.
The building gives up.
Do you guys know where I'm going? Anybody? Anybody know? No? Okay, let me carry on then. I can't power punch in here either. Motherfuckers. Whee! Whee! I think down in that elevator might be. Oh no! Oh my good god! I didn't know I could do that multiple times. Bureau alert. Oh shit. Black Rock Quarry. That's where I want to. Well, I assume I want to go to the Black Rock Quarry to find the Black Rock Processing. And why is Black Rock Quarry so hard to say? Oh. Okay, let's go, Kara Watson. Oh. Tears hard. Daniel, did I also read in the Discord that you were when you were doing like a robbery, you were trying to make them like admit like tea was better than coffee or something along those lines? Because that's good stuff, and I'm glad you represented on that front. Tea is the ultimate, you know. Everyone agrees. Can I smash through this wall? I can smash through the box. Smash. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to go through that. I had to go off that weird bridge, didn't I? How do I get back to weird bridge? I'm not allowed in any of this area. Fuck. Come on. Parkour, parkour. Can't break through the wall. So Black Rock Quarry was just not a great shout to go to, I guess, because I'm not level 5 yet. Yeah, I suppose we'll try the control room again then, yeah, because there was a bridge I had to take to get there, but I just don't remember where that was. Okay. The electricity level and the water level is doing well. And this plant looks healthy. Need some light though. Fox could do a move. Okay, what was that fucking thing? So this is where I started today. So we've officially gone full circle. Cool. Maybe the sector elevator will help us. I feel like it might be that way, but we'll go this way first. Go. I'm just getting lost. Damn it. Wait, Black Rock Processing. Up there. Oh, through this door? Which is locked, god damn it! Maybe. Oh, I was going to try and throw it directly up, but I don't think that's an option. Oh, hello. My motherland. Hi. We've got another devil room over here. That's pretty cool. These rooms always kill me for some reason though. Oh, hello! Where did you come from, buddy? Wherever it was, please don't come again. Okay. Don't know where I'm going anymore. We're just running around at this point. It's a nice little run round, hey? Power punch. Oh, this is Artie's office. I'm just smashing shit up. Oh, we're not actually in his office yet, okay. Well, I don't know if we want to go to his office. I'm not really getting anywhere else. Oh yeah, we've seen that one. It's weird and fucked up. I'm gonna go just see if Artie can help me in that case. Is this his office? Oh no, this must be. Hey, Artie!
Artie's fellow is not a useless guy. Respects his elders. Makes good coffee.
Oh. Coffee.
back. What killer bad thing? Paska mikä paska.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking, actually. Alright, cool. Well... I don't know how to get shit done. Maybe I should do his side mission, because I clearly have no idea what I'm doing for the actual mission. Clear the clogs. Let's do it. I reckon that's back down towards him, actually, isn't it?
Did I leave my book again? Pilot. Burnout. Cosmonaut. Really need a holiday.
So I need to be going that way towards it. So do I have to get to the cooling pumps to get down there? This map is confusing as fuck, man. It really is. What's this? Nice. Power punch. Power punch. Okay. Right, maybe I'm gonna carry it this way.
Pyro is trying to dig a hole in their own cellar.
I know. I know. I have no idea. Let's take that elevator down and hope that that works. Okay. The good news is, where I'm kind of lost, we now have 2 missions I could just unexpectedly find, so I can, like, you know, at least sort of try and balance that out. Get them. Oh, just little machines. Right, so if I go over down this way. Is it locked? Why is it locked? It's not level 5, is it? Power punch. Ah, shit! Wrong time to power punch. Why can't I get in here though? But that's definitely the elevator to get down. So, okay, so I've got to go to the furnace chamber instead? And go around the long way, I guess? Alright, then. But that's what we're gonna try. Yeah, down this way. So we'll call them pumps. Alright. No! Go back. Power punch. Didn't actually work out as well as I was hoping. Oh shit. Oh fucking hell, man, they're just everywhere. So the amount of times I fucking hurt myself with shit. Whew, bloody hell. Can we all calm down now? That was a bit much. Sure, we could have done that in a more pleasant way. How much? wrong. Right, so I think we want to carry on down here, right? Okay. This way. A quick little shower. She hasn't had a wash since she got here. Okay, there we go. Stumble down the little path. Assume I'm going the right way, because yeah, cool. Because I was going to say I've already committed to this now. I really hope there's an elevator back up. It's a long run. So if I try and go down this way, maybe. I still need to be over there somewhere, actually, don't I? Just like straight forward, but up there. Alright. Oh, no! Die, motherfucker, die! Still fool. Okay. Okay, well that was good at least. Why is that moving? Stop moving! So stop being a ghost. And I missed a thing. Oh yeah, I need to get up the stairs, don't I? Right, yeah. That's what I was doing before I was rudely attacked. Oh, go. What? Alright, that works out. Hiya! Hiya! Stop! I don't need that shit. It was a nice song though. That was my threat. I threw it because it just turned on.
Hello again, Mr. Clog.
Hello. I need some top boxes right now. Oh, that does fit in there. Okay, shit. I didn't think it would, because it didn't look like the other ones. No, okay, that didn't seem to like that. I'm guessing I got to climb over there. Shit, it's a full-on puzzle, baby. Power up. What's in random flashing here? Why am I hearing weird creepy noises too? What's that about? Is there another one over here, or should I just kept that one there? Oops! Well, shit. Could I have my box back, please? But I think I shouldn't have put it where I had originally. Oh, now it opens all the doors. What? Oh, could have rolled a 3? Maybe I had to put it in all 3. Oh, maybe no. I still got more to do. Maybe I've just got more to do. God damn it. I was trying to be real, real smooth with that one. I can still do it. Come. Ah! Alright. I'll do it the goddamn long way then. Very nice.
We should go down there to clear out the rest of it.
She definitely does make a better janitor than she does a, like, executive director or... I think, oh no, it's just director, wasn't it? Oh! No! Oh, fucking hell. Power punch. Oh, shit, breaks the railings. Oh. More devil nipples. Great.
Goodbye, Mr. Clog. I sincerely hope we never meet again.
Alright. Okay, sweet. Free shit. Sounds like you need some free shit. Make sure no one can ever come down here again. Good. We should have buried it, like, Indiana Jones style, you know what I'm saying? So right, now I need to get to the Black Rock again. So... Right, if I go to ventilation, maybe I can go for it down into that black bit. Because if I remember right, the access corridor wouldn't let me. I'm going to try ventilation, if I can get there. These things are so creepy, man. I feel like they are still human, but every now and then I feel like we should just vanquish one every now and then. Just, you know, to sate the gods. The shit just moving on its own. That's not cool. Oh, come on. I've got to go all the way up here again. Nope. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. No, it's fine. I died. That's what I wanted to happen. Quick travel. Yeah. Speedrunner strats. That's what we're doing. Good times. Yeah. So... Kill enemies in chat mode, in spin mode. Alright, I should use my spin one a bit more. Yeah, I need my spin one. Alright. Can't do anything here yet. Not on those. No, don't have that house memory. I don't know what the house memory is yet. Memories of a home, I guess. Yeah, let's go ventilation. This is a complicated house. This is like it's called the oldest house. But like, again, for me, I'm like, this doesn't look old, right? Okay, it has metal. You know, metal. So I need to do something right now, but I'm not sure what. Oh, okay. I can't go through that door, which would be neat. So we're gonna go down there. Oh, and instantly, bastard men appear. Oh, hello, you're right here. Fucking hell. Ow. Right, is everyone relax now? God damn it. Oh yeah, I need to... Wait, I think I'll do the upgrades at any point, can't I, actually? So I want to go down that way, but I do want to see what's here quick, because... Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice little cafeteria area. Lovely. Prideful. Power punch! Good times. So I need to keep going forward. I think... Is this the blocked elevator though? I can destroy that fully. Huh. Okay, well it didn't help me, but it's good to know. So, how the fuck am I meant to get into this place? So I'm pretty sure the elevator by the NSC energy converters wouldn't let me down there. So I guess go back up central maintenance and try that access corridor again? Might as well go see Artie quick. Oh, another job. Cleared up. Oh, okay, that's just...
What gilabati?
So it's just the same mission over and over again? Because... Artie, I don't know if I'm just going to keep doing the same mission for you, buddy. From the pump station. That was where we were before, right? Well, that's basically in the same place that we need to get down to, actually, so... If I could get down there, that would be great. Should just be like a... Did I see a circle thing pop up here just a second ago? Yeah. Oh no, it's just for that, okay. Wait, I've been in here. Have I not been in here? Or do these rooms just start to look a bit the same after a while? Yeah, I definitely had been in there before. Maybe it didn't count it because I died? My tank's water's getting low as well. Shit. Maybe this can take me... Yeah, maybe if this takes me down, I can just find another way. I reckon now it's safe. Whee! Okay, now down. Okay. Back down here. Back with little to no idea of what I should actually do. Okay, so I have to carry on this way through here. Did I just hear a bullet? Oh. And I completed that challenge. Teamwork. good? You good? Straight on, but we just came out of that door, right? That door's locked for no real good fucking reason. Okay. So yeah, I guess the other option is to go like north on the map then. We'll head for central maintenance. Yeah. Yeah. Some pretty badass grinding, right? Clear. Again, this toilet is so luxurious compared to the other ones. It's crazy. Why would you ever go in that other toilet? Unless it's just the thought that everyone's going to use this toilet, and that's why you use the other toilet. Alright, cool. Cleared that room up quite nicely. So, I think it was this way now. Do I have no mission selected? You will become my unwaiting slave. Right, clear up. Clear up the rest of me, mate. Ow! Fuck. Oh shit, they now have metal. I'm going the right way now, but yeah.
Okay, we need to find a way to Blackrock Process. That's where Marshall said we'd find the prison.
Oh. Shame we can't get through level 5 doors. Never get through there. Fuck you, fine, I'm gonna destroy your toilets instead then. One destroyed toilet. 2 destroyed toilets. Not even destroyed in my usual way, you know. Did it with my hands this time. Huh. Huh. Okay. Hey, I can hear guns. What else about? I feel like I want to go this way myself, though. Oh, yeah. I got your back, boys. Reinforcements are here. Oh shit! It's in our team now, don't shoot him. Seems very red over here, don't it? I'm guessing we need to make it less red. Hey guys. Is it not stopped because of that other guy that I turned? That's not dead yet? Or... Sure, just more about to happen. Oh. Oh, up there. Well, there's a box up there I could have taken. But now I'm too far away. Nice. Up here? What, you wanted to floaty people? Hey, I'll be with you in a moment. I need to see this stuff. Okay, so... Nothing more I can do there yet. Okay, no worries. Don't think we can do anything there, but collect rewards, yeah boy. Energy renewal. Thanks. So enemies with charge, research incursion, his snipers. Using Pierce, kill his snipers in the research sector with headshots. I don't think I have that yet. I need to change to shatter. I need to shatter their worlds. Okay. Do we have better ones? So launch energy cost. That's 11. Hey, my baby! How you doing, my man?
Remember today,
and
little brother?
it has taken me a while to find my feet on this. I'm not gonna lie.
Life is good.
It's so hard to navigate around this goddamn building. How you doing, my man? Damn good to have you. Okay. So I've got a level 1 health thing. Okay, yeah, so 26. I don't use C's, I don't use shield. Oh no, wait, oh shit. Exceeds accelerate speed. That's the one actually where we get people to work for us, so maybe I should have that one. So I can get rid of that one because it's a shit version. Just give me 20% health boost. I'll probably die a bit more now, but let's give it a go. Not too bad, glad to hear, my man. And doing swell. Yeah. Just trying to figure this fucking game out, man.
I'm glad to see you're still you.
Thanks. Who are you?
Ranger Squad Charlie 7 returned from an expedition.
Oh, it's this dude
Thanks for
again.
bringing down
Okay.
that, whatever the fuck that was. But we are barely holding on here, boss. How's the situation outside maintenance?
What do I tell him? The truth is harsh, but these people seem familiar with death.
Yeah. Give
The
him half and
hits are
half.
everywhere. Most of the Bureau is lost. We need Blackrock Prism to make more HRAs for any survivors in the safe rooms. I'm here to check Darling's Blackrock lab.
So to recap, death, disaster, and imminent destruction.
Yeah.
Another day at the FBC. But Darling's
What are
lab
you
is
talking
just
about, mermaid on that
Blackrock
other thing?
processing. But
Mermaid
I
in
got
the
good
quarry?
news and I got bad news on that front. Good news is, it's right down the hall. Bad news is, a hiss monster has decided to move in, so that's great.
That's fine.
Monster.
That's what the Rangers said. Well, survived anyway.
Hey, I'm back.
we
Thanks
are
for the host, my man. How you doing today, dude?
Keep coming.
And have you finished stream for now?
Salvador would know what to do, but apparently
How
he
was
took
it?
the security team into the containment
And am I doing...
center.
Oh, Stream Rangers. Yes, yes. I'll turn it on in just a
Sit,
second.
sit.
No bad. Glad to
Hey.
hear. Yeah, doing swell. Pretty
proud
fucking
of you.
tired, but doing swell.
Fearless leader.
They shouldn't rely on me.
And also just trying to navigate through this fucking building, man. Just trying to find where you're actually meant to
Know how I
go.
failed people.
You've done a good job here, Arish, but you should take your people and get to the base and executive. You can regroup there. I'll go deal with
Nah,
this
it's fine.
monster.
Like, I know where I'm going now.
I'm getting kind of used to them.
It's just when I find,
I
like, if you,
be sure to
like, when
put a
you
bullet
stop
in
playing
that
it and
wolf
come back to it, if you don't really have a good memory of where you'd left off, you're kind of fucked. Because, like, oh shit, I don't know anything. I don't know where to go. Like, I know to be in that area, but how the fuck do I get down there again? But yeah, we should be good now, actually. Okay. So find Blackrock Prism. Alright, why not? Right, okay, let me put on stream just quick. So I will get a battle going. We're going to go for this. It's a 4-skull gold chest. Everyone loves those. So get your troops down. And I need to... Oh, just bang any of your troop down at the moment. Alright, cool. Who do I want to give a go? I'll give the vampire a go. 'Tis the season, you know. Okay. So I need to carry on down in this one. I also need to unclog, so I should be able to do 2 things in this next one. Like an arty always get me in unclog shit, you know. That box was not meant to be there. I've told them time and time again. You're right. Any secrets? Oh, he still looks. Are you alive? Oh, no. Oh, he's definitely not alive now. He seemed scared when he died, though. The most dangerous fucking thing in the game.
Arish wasn't kidding about that monster.
I don't know. He has a pretty good sense of humour. Power punch. Oh, hello. Swan bow. Okay. Damn it. Just
You
trust
showed
me. I'm the
HRA
director.
when I first got here, and the machine that makes them.
Is it that one?
Help me find a prism.
Found it.
Shit,
Alright.
they're shattered.
Oh, it's not.
What the fuck?
Hi-oh. Where you go, boo? Where you go, boo? Come to butthead. Neary. Cackling. Hate these things. I'm assuming it's regenerated all of its health now, because it was regenerating health before. I wonder if it's like you can only see it through the red. Is that not it there?
Let's hurry up and find our lab.
Still don't quite get it. Yep, you see the waves, but they're tricky. Right, okay. So it's just their fucking fur. Type shit. Right, yeah, they seemed fun.
There are areas in the oldest house where, under the right conditions, when frequencies match,
Where's this been?
other dimensions leak in.
Oh.
We call these areas thresholds. The quarry is one of the more stable thresholds in the
Oh,
maintenance
I'm pretty sure there was a
sectors.
thing saying they found a
That's where
mermaid in the
black
quarry.
rock comes from.
You
Unless
heard
that was a
too,
mermaid.
right?
Dimensional matter.
Black rock
It
comes
has the
from a
unique
threshold.
property of blocking out
Quarry.
unwanted frequencies.
If they get near you,
So,
they throw up shit and it's
prisms
massive
must be
damage.
there too.
I mean, they nearly got me. If I didn't get them there, I think I'd have died very quickly there because
Our research involves
my health
many
was well low at
dangerous
the end of
things
that fight,
absolutely
and there was
need
no one
to
else to shoot to try and get life from either.
That's what the Black Rock Line fire breaks are about. The panopticon container cells.
Sorry to
Oh, yeah,
interrupt,
Panopticons,
sir.
yeah.
I need the code for the bio later.
Oh,
Oh,
Please only be like 4 digits.
the codes. BlackRock 665.
Oh, that's even less than 4. Sick.
Neighbor of the Beast. Get it?
I got it.
We can do that again.
Yep. We'll keep it. Have to keep it in now. Right. Thank you to Federal Bureau of Control.
This should get us into the quarry.
Yes, darling. It should. So am I level 5 now? Because it's about time I'm treated with some goddamn respect. I'm the fucking director of janitation. Alright. Alright, let's go. How many of the Threshold kids have... How many of the Threshold kid shows have you seen? Just one
Everything
fucked up
here
one so
is
far.
crazy.
I can't remember what it was about now, but I just remember being
Weird,
fucked up.
but it feels
Like home?
right.
Oh.
Like how the world should be.
Oh, what, with demons?
I am in an infinite building leading to different dimensions.
Your mum's
and
an infinite
I
building.
never want to leave. Even with all the horror, I'm
Oh, well, I'm glad Cora Watson's finally finding happiness.
sane. Or just the right kind of insane.
He won't die. Hello. Be my Frankenstein. Do need that health, thank you. Sure. Safe. They're super weird, they proper are, man. I need to be on Nick Fury's level? Why, I need to, like, lose an eyeball? Quite attached to my eyes. I've always been fond of them. They help me, like, do pretty much everything. I am quite reliant on them now. Hey, I didn't even have to fight anyone to claim this one. Even though there's clearly a dude right there. It's my house now. Have I not been killing people with... I'm using my shotgun, am I not? I've not switched it. Yeah, I was, yeah. Oh, I guess I've just been slamming everybody. Like that. Fucking sniper. Nice, nice. Oh, hello. Free stuff. Beautiful. Oh, hello. You missed me, bitch. Sit down. So, what way did I actually come? I came across this bridge, didn't I? I came in from over there. I think, even though that says Black Rock Quarry, and I'm going to be going to Black Rock Quarry. Have I? No, I did start running around it, didn't I? I must have come in from that way. Why can't I pick this up? Weapon mod's full. Really? Oh shit! Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. I haven't been changing my weapon mods. I've been changing my Percy mods, but not my weapon ones. Oh shit. Okay, well at least they're all in type. So they're both the same. Sweet. Shit, I'm using the bitch-ass versions of like all of these guns at the moment, apparently. I think you can upgrade your weapons so you can add more mods. Yeah, that makes sense. I just need to get some... I think there's particular things I still need to get for it. I'll tell you which ones in a moment. So what's that ammo cost per shot? Ammo refund chance, okay. That's a 7 already, so I don't need that. The same. Okay. So, let's put something else there instead. So, accuracy, damage while low on health, plus 30%. That's pretty cool, actually. Damage after kills. Energy gains from headshots. Ammo refunds, ammo efficiency. Damage against... Oh, damage against armor is actually a good one. Yeah, we're going to go damage against armor on that one. Okay, and then for shatter. So we got shatter recoil at the moment. And this one, also recoil. What's that one? 10%, so I can get rid of this one. Shatter projectile. Projectile spread. Maybe that would be a good one, actually. Oh! I nearly did the wrong thing there. Yeah, I'll leave these other ones here for now. I was going to delete them, but we'll leave those for now. But yeah, I think you have to. Yeah, you have to upgrade at the circle spots. The Witcher circle. Control point. Control point. The game's called Control. That's the point. Fan supplement. Okay, no. I was wondering if it was like a fan of Alan Wake's novels or if it was a fan as in these things I'm literally standing on. I assumed it was going to be those. But... Right, cool. Those boxes pose no danger to us now. Also, it says like max occupancy 6 people. We've never seen any people in here yet, but at some point there's going to be someone in here, right? For sure.
Elevator's broken.
Oh shit.
Gotta get down the old-fashioned way.
I'll just jump. I've tried that with you. You die a lot. Whoa! Hardcore parkour. Hardcore parkour. Hardcore parkour. Hardcore fuck you up. Hardcore parkour. Hardcore parkour. I like trying to take those risky corners on this as well, you know. Makes me feel alive. Power punch. Whoa. Oh shit. I actually did want to drop down there. There was a nice little bookcase. Yeah. Oh, see, those people were just hanging out. Like, I usually kill these. Like, huh. Does that not count as killing this dude with the thing? Have I got to kill Hiss with my gun, or have I actually finished the challenge already? Oh shit! I also need to. There's a clog point back down here as well. I need to make sure I haven't passed that already. Because I may as well do Artie's little side job too. That's always the same fucking thing. Oh shit, no, Artie's job was in the Atlas chamber actually. But I should be able to get there quite easily now because there is a spawn point. Alright. Let's go see the mermaid, everybody. Actually, whoa, hold up. I need to check my kill enemies with the service weapon in shatter mode. I just killed 2 in shatter mode and it didn't do shit. Yeah, that's normal. Shatter the world. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. shit. Why can't we be friends? 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 What a fucking time to bring that one out. How you doing, Mojo, baby? That was great timing. But how you doing, me lad? Get him. We good? Okay. Just a nice little like cubby hole. Kush there. There's a mess everywhere. Oh. And I can't see what the signs say anymore because my power punch. Power punch. Power punch. Power. Oh, no power punch. So not that way then. I came up that way. Well, that was just a little run round. There isn't really much to do there. Quarry equipment order. I still haven't seen no mermaid either. I've just finished a long, stressful day. Oh, damn, really, man. Glad it's over at least, dude. Now it's time to chill and watch me die and maybe even play some Mass Effect. Not me, but you I guess. I know you'll probably be on it. How far along are you on the second one? Do you know?
Whoa. Not what I expected.
Huh. This is. Are we still inside right now? We've been inside a building this whole time, and I feel like we didn't technically ever leave it. Yeah. Just gonna do this quick. Let's check if it was a light demon or not. It's not. Whee! There is explanations, yeah. I just ain't found them. Or I probably quite possibly have found them and I just haven't read them. Just reading's not something I seem to do much now. On here. Oh, anyway. You've recruited everyone but still got some loyalty missions and a load of side stuff. Probably won't play any today. Too drained to stream. Fair. Yeah, fully get it, man. Shut it. I don't know about you. Like, I don't know how it's been in like Manchester. But down here, man, it's been humid as fuck today. Like, real not nice. Activate the explosives to activate the prism. Oh. Huh. Ow. Wow. Well. Well, and it didn't even stay in. Fuck me. Right, well, I'm definitely going to fail this one because I've already got no health. I swear to God, Kara Watson. Fuck. Oh, reinforcements, that's not real necessary, is it? Oh, there you are. Could you stop spawning more and more? We don't need them. I'm already nearly dead. These fucking things, man. Oh, come on! Oh, there was one right there. Fuck. Shit. The heat and humidity has been up your arse like it's Congress all day, but windows open, fan on, still dying. It's a hot one for sure. You've been in a storm, Mojo? Real storm. Oh, hello! What a fun way to start today, hey? Son of a bitch. Just spawns. You don't have to be so fucking Larry straight away, you know? Is that not where I was? Do I have to take a different door now? That's not a door. That is the door I took, right? Do I need to go in the lift again? Can't actually get to the lift. Children play here, you bitch! I don't quite know what's happened here. I feel like this, I mean, I've cleansed this. I respawned here, so I must have cleansed this. So if I've cleansed this area, why is it all still rocky? Why is it still, like, yeah, fucking Duplo up in here? My rage is untethered. There was no bounds. Has it glitched, or am I just not doing something right here? Because I can't get the elevator. I can't use the elevator now to get back up. Oh. No, yep, I can't use the elevator. It gets stopped by the blocks. Okura, from what you remember, do you feel like this area may have glitched for me, or do you think there's probably just something I'm missing? Obviously, don't tell me what I'm missing if I'm just missing something. But as far as I can tell, I'm trapped and I can't actually go any further or back. So I jumped all the way down. Yeah, oh yeah, the elevator's... Oh, yeah, that was why the elevator wasn't working actually, because it's been blocked this whole time. Probably missing something. All right. Yeah, because the elevator's been blocked the whole time, so that's fair. I can't jump back up, so we are stuck down here to an extent. Like, this could be a thing, but it's not. What's the red? Just nothingness. Like, this should clear portal, but red usually means dead. Are you a brother and I? You are your brother. Yeah. How about that? I must have come in a slightly different way. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to be told where it is if it's in here, but must just be I'm missing something. Wasn't in those boxes. Am I meant to be connecting power boxes up somewhere? Dark as fuck. I mean, I feel like if it respawned me here, so I must have cleansed this area. That's what I'm thinking of. Because why would it put me back to a spot that I haven't been cleansed at? Usually it puts you back to your control point. So if this wasn't a control point, like it looks like it's not because it's obviously still blocky, then why was I put back here? I might have just been. I feel like I might have been put. But I didn't. If I didn't cleanse it, then how would I interact with it? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing you're not 100% sure what I'm meant to do here anyway? Why me suck? I don't know. I don't know. There's definitely something I'm not doing right, I'm guessing. Have you looked up and around? Yeah, I thought I had anyway. Is that like a giant lockpick? Oh, hang on. Oh. I was really hoping that was going to explode. Can I get up there? Come on. Yeah, there we go. It's just meant to parkour onto these. Nope, nope. Where's my shadow not getting bigger or smaller? There we go. Yeah, I mean, do you know if like do you know if where I'm meant to be doing it here? I'm guessing not. Otherwise you might not advise to reload. We go back to the spawn and look around, see if you can find any clues, and then shove it up your butt. I'll get them. There's too much debris on here. Good now. Okay. Yeah, I think it must have. Try to see if we could grab onto that, maybe. Never stone plays temperature load of me. Yeah, him and Dwight. Yeah, that's a beautiful moment. You've been meatballed. Yeah, okay, we'll do stream rate just quick and then we'll reload this up because I don't feel like it's working, you know, not how everybody would want it to. I went to the wrong screen. This is the one we want and it's going to show. Yay! Okay, so killing field, get murdering. And I'm going to have to quit to the menu on this and reload. Oh, this looks like it's a full sweep. Beautiful. Okay, and the winners on that one are Almighty and LTL. Beautiful. Good shit, boys. And now we're on to our 5-skull boss battle, loyalty boss chest. This is the one. This is the one that you'll be telling other people's grandchildren about. Because your grandchildren, if you have them, probably won't give a shit. I'm gonna go for my berserker. Right up in the middle. It's about to get loud. Right. Fuck you, this is so far back. What? Or is it just because it's the nearest one? It might just be the nearest one, I guess, because I got to go up here. Oh my good god, it hasn't. That took me very far back. That's taken me fucking so far back. That's basically... This is just where we started today. So it didn't... I found like 2 or 3 control points. Because I found the control points down here. It didn't save any of that. Yeah. That's possibly why that... When I died, it put me in that room. Because it just didn't know where the fuck else I was meant to be in the game. Fuck, man. That's so far back. That's lame. Fuck. I've got to do all of this shit again. That's ridiculous. God damn it. What's the quickest way to the spots? Well, you suck. I think it's just another case of fuck Microsoft, fuck Windows, Xbox games. The Xbox Game Pass version of Control is different to the one you'd get if you still bought it through Windows Store, but just by yourself. So this is a fucked up version of the game anyway. But if it's not going to be saving my game, then I'm not going to be playing it. I suppose I'll get to the next control point, reload it then, and if it didn't save it again, I guess we're just done with Control. But it's been a cool game, but I want to carry on. But fuck. That's an hour and a half's worth of stuff we did today that now I have to redo. And that's really irritating. Fuck, dude. Alright, we gotta go up to the access corridor, so. Already here? Oh, where do I go? Yeah, damn. Am I going the right way even? No, why am I going to the fucking left? Oh, no, wait, this is where I want to go, right? I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I want to go down, right? I'm not going the right way. Which way I going up? When this happened, she had the same shit with Yakuza 0. Had to redo like 5 hours of stuff. Damn, man. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's like... it should be a basic fucking thing with making your game actually save. Come on. Especially in a game where you can't do your own manual saves. The only way you can save in this game is by going to the control point. So if they're glitched, then like, what the fuck? Yeah, I've got to keep going Blackrock, don't I? Didn't even mean to do this. Worked out right. Usually when this sort of stuff happens, you end up doing it way quicker than you did before, but it also just means I'm going to miss all the collectibles and stuff to try and get back to where I am if I'm going to do it that quick. All these fucking challenges.
Okay, we need to find a way to Blackrock processing. That's where Marshall said we'd find a prism.
Yeah, there's a control point right fucking here, in fact, man. Don't kill him. Okay, let's change this to shut now. Killed many weapons. I just killed quite a few of them with this one, and it only counted one as well. Bullshit. So one's upstairs. Oh, Rocket Man. So this should be a save point, right? So it's showing a save symbol. So, in theory, if I leave the main menu, if I go to the main menu and come back here, I should be starting right here now, right? That's what should be happening. No, I banned. Oh, fuck this game. I didn't mean to do that. Fuck, man. I don't have Pierce or charged. Damn it, I got rid of the easy ones. Savage. Okay, so I'm going to try going to the main menu and coming back to it and seeing where it starts us. Pick up a countermeasure and then decline it and it will change to another. Ah, okay, right. Okay, that's cool. It's not saving the game. What the fuck? Just let me check my disk space, make sure it's not my PC. Nope, plenty of fucking space for a game save. Did I interact with it after cleansing? Yeah. Yeah, I interacted with it after cleansing. Because I went on there to go to the countermeasures. Let me Google it. Just bringing up a couple of threads. Hopefully one of them will help. Seems to be a couple of people had this problem. So this person had a PS3 game. They had to press the menu button to view their trophies. What? Which causes it to... But I'm already... I don't know how to open trophies in Windows games anyway. Which causes silent property. That doesn't do anything. Yeah. Nope, still not finding the issue. Control Ultimate Edition not saving. Yeah, I have no idea. But it's definitely not saving for me. Let me give it one more try, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cleanse through the portal, and then I won't go back into it, and I won't, because I did play around with the countermeasure things each time, so maybe there's some weird glitch with the countermeasures. Regardless, yeah, it's pretty shitty. And oh shit, Kyle baby! Thank you very much for that sub, dude. 44 months now, motherfucker. That's beautiful. Thank you. That helps with my pain I'm having with this game right now. I'm a big dummy that was writing to you in Bax's chat. Nice, nice. What were you saying? Did you have some good stuff? Yeah, I think I might. Well, I don't know what I personally have done to piss the game off, but yeah, it doesn't want to know me no more. Which is, yeah, quite frustrating, because I was having a good time with this game, and I really wanted to see where else it would go. Power punch. Power punch. Power punch. Have you closed it down and reopened? No, I haven't actually. That's a good point. Alright, let me try that quick. You made a comment where you called the mission you abandoned and then you renamed the game Control. Oh, delete. Nice, nice. Oh, yeah, that was pretty good. That's some pretty good stuff. Shame I don't know whether to believe if you said it in the moment or if you've only, like, you know, now you've had the time, you're like, oh, that's what I should have said. That's what I will say now. Yeah, there's no way to ever find out either. Yeah, savage. Yeah, how you doing, my man? I was just playing this coming out. I know, right? But you did it perfectly. No errors in that one at all. Doing very well. Nice, nice. 17 VIP found a prime. Get abandoned nerd mission. Oh. Control Alt Delete. Yeah, but how do I know you're not now making it up, Bakura? There's no way to know for sure. You know? No way to know. It was your joke. Carl just stole it and took the credit. Nah, I don't believe that. Carl wouldn't steal. Not unless it was sand-based. My older brother, by the way, never, and this will make sense, he's never seen Lost. And I only found it out last night, so we started watching Lost when he was around. And literally in one of, like, I think it was the second episode, maybe even first or second episode, there's a scuffle between Saeed and between Sawyer. And fucking Sawyer just grabbed some sand, like, rah, straight up into Saeed's face. I was like, oh shit! And it was in that moment, I was like, so basically, if we had a Lost situation, like if it was us lot, our community all like crashed on an island, Kyle would be Sawyer. So Kyle would be the macho, over-the-top macho, because I suppose Kyle's really ripped as well, like him. He'd also smoke a lot of cigarettes and look like a farmer. Then it would mean Mojo. You would be Saeed, who is a bit of a torturer for like his old army and stuff. But he's pretty fucking smart. He can get radios fixed. He bangs a hot blonde during it at some point. So you got that to come. But the rest of the roles are still up for grabs. They haven't shown themselves to me yet fully, you know. So, but the more I watch Lost, the more I'm hoping I'll figure out who everybody is in it. Yeah. Oh, Mojo, if you said that, then there's no coming back for you. You know, there's no coming back. Kyle wouldn't steal. He totally stole my hat last year, and he still has it. But wasn't it the free hat? Wrong way. It's got to be the brown guy. Expect that kind of reason from going at you. Oh yeah, shit, that's true. His hair's not as fly as yours either. Kyle's got to be the white guy though, so you know, swings and roundabouts. If you want, I'll be. Who could I be? I could be the French woman. She has pretty crazy hair. Would it help you if I was a French woman, Mojo? Being Sawyer, I wouldn't say he's great. But again, you get to bang Kate. I mean, a lot of who you are in Lost is good or bad, depending on if you get to bang or not, basically. But Sawyer and Saeed both get to bang, so they're hot. They're hot ones. You want to be one of those ones because they get to bang. Hurley, fun-loving dude, doesn't really get to bang, you know. But he does make a lot of friendships. So there is. Why is that tree showing red? Why are these leaves evil? It's pretty cool though. Power punch. Power punch. I gotta be white. Okay, I can't just ask why you're white. Jeez. Who bangs the bird from The Hills Have Eyes? Which is the one that I don't know if I've seen. Who's in that? So I don't know which one it is. Tell me what they look like in The Hills Have Eyes, and I'll tell you which one they probably are in Lost. Next, assign your viewers to Scooby-Doo characters. Ooh, that one's gonna be hard. No one really has the vibe of Rodriguez. Had her as my wallpaper background in PC College. It was crazy. It was crazy about her at the time. So it's from The Hills Have Eyes. Was she like blonde, brunette? That's probably, but we'll start there. Can I successfully name them all now? Well, I mean, a Shaggy, Scooby, Scrappy, Velma, Daphne.
Okay. We need to find a way to Blackwell process it.
Rodriguez, obviously.
Marshall
Some
said
bitch
he'd
called
find
Fred.
some.
And I'll just chuck in another Scrappy Doo. Why not? No one really wants him. Gorgeously cute, blonde, but pale, long, straight hair. Did you mention gorgeous? You didn't know. No, you didn't know. Let me check. Hills Have Eyes. It'll be the remake, right? Because there was an old as fuck one. Hills Have Eyes, 2006, IMDb. Let's have a look. Oh, is it the one who plays one who plays Brenda in The Hills of Eyes, Emily DeRevin, and no, that's not the one your character would be banging. But I agree, she was fine. Like once you know she'd got the baby out, then she was fine. Might have missed a bit there, but you didn't. I put Velma. I said Velma. Yeah, I said Velma. Yeah, Scrappy Doo twice and Rodriguez, but I said the main fucking Freddy, Shaggy, Velma, and Daphne. Yeah. Give you whoever bangs her? Nah, you're not cool enough to be Charlie. So Charlie, see, Charlie's a musician from Manchester. Doesn't work for you, Mojo. It doesn't work for you. It's also a heroin addict. Which I guess doesn't work for you either. You're more of a spaceman, you know? Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, if you're having a good time. Right. You said Gelma. I didn't say Gelma. Who the fuck's Gelma? You give me the Raven torch over the main rockstar. Yeah. Oh shit. It was mainly because of the sand fight, to be fair. It's not my fault those people decided to have a sand fight. And unfortunately you got chosen because you're good at getting sand in your eyes. Yeah. Break from the ground. We're trying to reach floor 200. We are on 120. Damn. Is that on Final Fantasy? Just come downstairs. The fuck is wrong with you? Jesus. Jesus. Yeah, it was just sand fighting. Okay, the saving logos come up. So now it should be safe. Fuck yourself. Love you too. You got chosen because you're good at getting sand in your eyes. Good quote. Good quote. Okay, it's doing a little save symbol again. So it's doing a save symbol. Let's quit to menu. If it doesn't work this time, if we don't spawn back to where we were there, then I guess fuck this game. This is right. Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, well at least saving it, well, reloading it got us back there. And now we're only still maybe an hour and a half behind.
I'm not doing so hot.
I don't care.
We'll push
Ranger Squad, Charlie 7, return from an expedition to the quarry threshold just after 0.
So first you get blinded repeatedly by Carl, then because of that you got to miss out on the baddest bitch in the show.
What the fuck that was?
Yeah.
But we are barely holding
Yeah.
on. Here,
You
boss.
should have shown that you were a massive heroin taker. Then I would have
What do I tell
instantly
him?
put you as Charlie.
The truth is harsh,
But you didn't. You
these
shown yourself to
people
get
seem
good at
familiar with
throwing
death.
sand in your eye.
The hiss are everywhere.
Can I skip this? I have
Look,
seen it.
I'm here to check them.
Oh, second, that-
they don't.
But you all get.
Be sure.
Nice little jump to end it with. I like it.
No, no.
Alicia wasn't kidding about that monster.
Oh, gotta fight that cunt again.
You showed me the HRA when I first got here, and the machine that makes them. Can
Can you dig it?
you help me find a prism?
Right, let's go.
Shit.
Yeah, you are. That's true. But We all know that you don't
Prison.
partake in it enough. That's always been the main criticism people have had for you know. Oh fucking hell, man! That thing fucked me up hard. I could do with some health.
Let's hurry up and find Darling's lab.
We're still hearing screeches. Massive damage, yeah, for real. That's it, Mojo. You're on your way to banging really sexy blondes whilst they're pregnant in no time.
There are areas in the oldest house where under the right conditions, frequencies match,
No, I didn't want that one, fuck
other
you.
dimensions leak in.
I wanted this one?
We call these areas thresholds.
Get the fuck off. I want
This
this
is
one.
one of the more stable thresholds in the maintenance sector. That's where Black
This should get us into the quarry. You heard that too, right? Black rock comes from a threshold. Ari, everything here is crazy. Weird, but it feels right. Like how the world should be. I am in an infinite building leading to different dimensions, and I never want to leave. Even with all the horror,
You gotta leave. No one wants you here.
it feels sane.
Feels like the first time. Power punch. Well, shit. Oh, fuck. I might have to have a break soon anyway. Yeah, that's fair. I've got to fight it again, or is this a new thing I've got to fight now? Why am I not enough quick? Power punch. Power punch. This lift was here last time. Oh, I suppose, yeah, it's still down there because of me. Oh, fucking hell, I need to get in this quick. Get the fuck in. Stay out there, stay out there. God damn. I got plenty of health now, great. Good, didn't do a spiel. Huh. Fuck, do I get back up there? I wasn't meant to fall. Ah! Anyhow. Need to share the elevator. No, I mean, I am. I'm the director and the janitor. I am paying everything. No one else doing shit. Oh, fuck me. I just... Speedrunner strats, don't worry about it. Speedrunner strats. Speedrunner strats. Yeah, speedrunner strats, speedrunner strats. Shit! God damn. Oh, lordy. The annoying thing is, I've done all of this fine. Like I did all of this and got much further, and then the game just didn't save. It's not fair.
Each taken a few hits.
It's not fair.
We need to get them to a surgical station ASAP, but I don't think they're stable enough.
Oh, Kyle will never get over that. I'm just better than him at Castle Truck. Poor bugger. Where did that monster go? Yes, yeah, that's why it ran away. Does it look like I'm running up these metal beams? I guess not now. Nerds. Okay, so this should be another safe spot now. Oh, okay. I was doing this that seemed to fuck it up last time, but oh, stream rate is ready. Very nice. Okay.